I throw on me leather boots and me favourite denim jacket and I fix me hair so I look like somebody's child. I go outside and I close the door and I walk out onto my street. There's some banging middle class entitlement off of me, aren't I lucky? I'm walking down the road past the houses with the little mini water features in the front gardens, and the garage is so long it could fit a family of four into one. I look across and down the street and I think of Nellie Harrelin and Helen Finnegan. Nellie, who looked after me and had a massive bag of sweets every Halloween, and Helen is like an auntie to me. The kind of woman who make you a Sunday roast on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock because she is the kindest of hearts. I'm tall enough now to see over the wall into the hurling pitch, and there's 5 young fellas down the far goal kicking a ball around. Imagine, kicking a football around the hurling pitch, the cheek. I was one of them once. I was Henrik Larsson and that pitch was Celtic Park, where I played Man United and Liverpool, and I was absolutely shite, but sure look, none of us made it to Celtic Park in the end, so weren't we all? I walk on through the wind, I walk on through the rain, and I turn to my right and take a look at the old schoolhouse. Today it's a family's house with a little mini water feature in the front garden and an extension onto the side to make the porch look nice. And for once I stop and I take a proper look. And I can see the ghosts of kids with their heads hanging low, wearing shoes with no soles and scars on their hands and in their faces. Fear. Boys in one room, girls in the other, because God forbid they be educated together. They don't need any distractions, they need a good Catholic education. And why do I say that? Because running down along the side of this devil-era schoolhouse is a driveway, a pathway, a walkway of shame, of guilt, of public blame to the old parochial house, lined on either side with flowers of all kinds. Some look like those little bishop's hats, sure the look and the smell covers up what happens inside. I see ghosts again. Just 2 this time. A young girl holding her stomach, and I feel sick for her. A tall caved figure with a white collar glides along behind her, and I know what will happen to that child. Both of them. Where do you think they got the term white collar crime from? I shake myself out of that distraction and I walk on down the road and I wait for the bus, one every hour on the hour. Aren't I lucky? As I wait again, I look around the church where I was educated on how to be a proper Irishman, sandwiched between 2 pubs, one of which I've never entered because you're either a Stapleton's man or a Lyons' man, and God forbid you be both. And it was in Stapleton's I learned to be a proper Irish man. The old parish hall with the caved-in roof where I went to play school, and the new parish hall where I went to youth club until the priest shut it down to set up a youth prayer group that nobody joined. Despite the fact modern times have caught up with us by the time the bus arrives, I greet the driver, the grumpy Englishman, with the same "How you, John?" as 1,000 times before, hand him my money and he drives on. As we leave the village, I glance at my primary school out the window where I hear the echoes of the names I was called by my classmates, and they are drowned out by my tears. And I have a flashback of my 5th class teacher ignoring those nicknames I earned, because I couldn't hurl. I throw my eyes away and out the other window to distract myself from those echoes when I see the new parochial house. It watches over that school like a cloak wrapped around the conscience of Irish children, shaping it from the get-go. Some tear themselves free. I did. I ripped the cloak away from me and ran towards that bus as fast as I could, and despite the wind and the rain, I never wore a hood. My dreams were tossed and blown, but I kept an open mind, as did my parents in what was an impossible time. The grumpy Englishman transports me from 1950s Fianna Fáil Ireland to a land of promise and excitement, if you could call it that. The city gave me an actual ability to write this poem. I was raised in a village but reared in the city because it was there that I found my people, my tribe, those who nurtured me. The city doesn't just have an open mind, it has an open heart, a graw for all and for talent and for the provisions of its enhancement. It accepts the outsiders, the insiders, the left-siders, the north-siders, and all the sides which are still to be discovered. But the city wouldn't do a Sunday roast for you on a Sunday unless it got paid. It has an unforgiving nature that is laid out for all to see and experience and survive. The village, although quieter, is kinder and peaceful, with people who raise me to smile at a passerby and appreciate the simpler things in life. The only real difference between the village and the city is their mentality. One is open and unforgiving, the other is exclusive but gives you a proper sense of community living. So I step off the bus and I say, "Thanks John, best of luck," and today he replies with a simple "See ya." And I walk on up the town with hope in my heart. And I know that whether I walk in the village or the city, I'll never walk alone, because I can consider both my home. It takes a village to rear a child, but it takes a city to know.